In the blistering glare of the debate stage, Angela Rayner thought she had it all locked down, until one razor-sharp question gutted her facade and left her flailing like a rookie in a street fight. The Labor darling, usually so slick with her scripted charm, crumbled under the weight of real scrutiny, her poise evaporating as the crowd's boos thundered like artillery fire. This wasn't some gentle probing. It was a brutal takedown, exposing the hollow core of her party's endless bluster. Forget the rehearsed smiles and empty pledges. Rayner's meltdown was raw, unfiltered carnage, a spectacle that ripped the mask off Labor's so-called invincibility and left the audience howling for blood. The setup screamed control freak. Lights blasting down on a pristine platform. Cameras poised to immortalize every twitch, every fake nod at authority. Rayner sauntered in like she owned the joint, her grin calibrated to scream unshakable leader, her gestures drilled into muscle memory from years of dodging real heat. She leaned in, voice dripping with that phony assurance, tossing out buzzwords like confetti, fairness, growth, the works. But the crowd wasn't buying the act. They were coiled springs, ready to snap at the first whiff of bullshit. Tension crackled in the air, thick enough to choke on, as if everyone knew the polished bullshit was about to hit the fan. Then boom, the question dropped like a grenade. Which policies are you actually committed to, and which are just smoke and mirrors? Simple, direct, no frills. It sliced through her armor like a hot knife. Rayner froze, eyes darting, mouth flapping open and slamming shut. No slick comeback, no pivot to safety. Just dead air, heavy as lead. The audience smelled weakness and pounced, their collective breath turning to a low rumble that built into outright disdain. She stammered out some recycled garbage, vague nods to economic justice, social uplift, but it landed like a wet fart. The polish was gone. What spewed out was desperate filler, stretched thin over nothing substantial. This wasn't a minor hiccup. It was a full-scale implosion, shattering the illusion of competence Labor clings to like a life raft. As Rayner squirmed, the boos erupted in waves, crashing over her like a tidal surge of contempt. Faces in the crowd twisted from mild interest to outright scorn, murmurs swelling into a roar that drowned her feeble attempts at recovery. She tried steering back to safe ground, babbling about party triumphs and future visions. But the mob wasn't having it. They demanded meat, not fluff, real answers, not this reheated slop. Her face flushed, hands fidgeting, the once commanding presence reduced to a jittery mess scrambling for scraps. Dig deeper, and the rot shows. Labor's whole game is built on this fragile house of cards, where image trumps substance every time. Rayner's panic wasn't just personal. It was a glaring symptom of a party addicted to spin, terrified of the unscripted. When grilled on specifics, like naming one damn company backing their job schemes, she blanked hard, defaulting to airy nonsense about commitment and progress. Bullshit. The crowd's reaction was savage. Boos ricocheting off the walls, a brutal verdict on her evasion. It highlighted the chasm. Politicians like her thrive in echo chambers, but throw them into the arena of genuine accountability and they shatter. The pressure cooker intensified as the interrogation rolled on. Rayner's gestures went haywire, jerky waves, forced smiles cracking like cheap plaster, pauses dragged into agonizing voids, each one screaming uncertainty. The audience fed off it, their frustration boiling over into audible fury, a symphony of disapproval that hammered her psyche. No PR wizard could swoop in to save her. This was live, raw, no cuts. Her team's sideline squirming said it all. They knew the optics were nuked, the narrative slipping through their fingers like sand. Social media ignited like wildfire, clips of her floundering going viral in seconds. Hashtags tore her apart. Hashtag Rayner rattled. Hashtag Labor lies. Pundits piled on, rivals cackled. Even loyalists winced at the carnage. It created a vicious cycle, online venom amplifying the live chaos, turning one bad moment into a national bloodbath. Labor's shiny veneer cracked wide open, revealing the panic beneath. A party scrambling to plug leaks in their credibility dam. But let's call it what it is, a savage wake-up call. Rayner's unraveling exposed the scam performative politics, where slick talk masks zero spine. Voters aren't idiots. They crave brutal honesty, not this dodging dance. When she couldn't deliver, the boos weren't just noise. They were a revolt against a bullshit machine. Labor standing took a nosedive, supporters questioning if their leaders are frauds in fancy suits. This debate wasn't theater. It was a demolition derby, with Rayner as a wreckage. As the grilling peaked, her recovery bids only fueled the fire. Every pivot felt like desperation, every hedge a confession of weakness. The room turned hostile, a pressure chamber where her strain was palpable. Voice cracking, eyes evasive, the aura of control pulverized. Questions on economic backers hit like uppercuts, her vague retorts drawing fresh boos, a chorus of rejection that echoed her inadequacy. In the end, this mauling lingers as a brutal lesson. No rehearsal survives contact with reality. Rayner's panic, the crowd's rage, the online frenzy, it all strips labor bare, demanding they step up or get steamrolled. Politics ain't a game for the faint. It's a war zone, and she got schooled hard. The fallout? A battered image, eroded trust, and a clear message. Fake at your peril, because the public will bury you alive. This wasn't a debate. It was an execution, and Rayner walked away bloodied, her party's illusions in tatters.